How's it going?
Pretty good. Looks like we got a lot of people rolling in, which is awesome.
Let me do a little bit of sharing. I screw this up every single time I've ever tried it, but I think I'm going to get it right this time. Go live, entire screen. Yes, I think I did it. Can you all see call technicalities and agenda?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Every time in my life I've ever done this, I share my window and not my screen, and it's always wrong, and I finally got it right.
If
This
you
should be an achievement.
struggle with sharing, maybe you should get a standing desk.
I'm actually standing. Oh no. Oh, Ed. Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
I don't get it.
Ooh. Ooh, ooh.
Because if the chair you sit, but if you're standing desk, you don't have to worry about a chair. And he's yeah, sorry.
I decided to take this meeting standing up for my physical and mental well-being. So I was like, how did he know that? And then I realized that we'd just gone down this terrible rabbit hole and couldn't escape. Cool. Well, let's kick off. Marina left really extensive community call documentation, but the one thing I didn't ask her about was our guessing game. So as usual, until she gets back from well-earned vacation, we're going to skip that part of it. Just a reminder for folks, we're trying out the Agile methodology here. So keep your update to under a minute. I think Ed got under 15 seconds last week, which is awesome. Talk about what you did, what you're doing, and anything you need help on. And that'll leave us some time at the end, either to take back or just to discuss anything big that's, on folks' minds and do a little group brainstorming. So all that said, we might as well just hop right into it. Season 3 goals, I don't think we present. So let's get right into KPI updates.
Hey, GJ, I actually didn't update those. That's on me. So if we want to move forward, we can. And then
All right. Analytics, or is that also sort of in progress?
That's ready. I can go for analytics.
Hit it.
Okay, so new record. Last week we got 177 active analysts. We destroyed the previous record by well, actually it's 83 higher than last week. So great. 72 brand new analysts added to the labor markets. But do note that this might be because we ran a scavenger hunt for near. So that might have brought new users onto the platform. So in terms of what's new, we launched a brainstorming, as I just said, a brainstorming and a hunt. So these are types of challenges that we don't run as often. So for this slide, I'm not really using the agile format because the content on blockers and what's next will be talked about in later slides, mainly in the bounty ops slide. But
Understood.
Okay, so I can proceed with peer review as well on the next slide.
Yeah, let's do that. Before we leave this one, just really quickly, we are all broadly in agreement that running large-scale acquisition programs through MetricsDAO is not something we're going to do often, at least at this point. So definitely worth taking these numbers with a grain of salt. I will say I'm reviewing the submissions. I've looked at about a dozen of them so far. And so far, most of them are good. People are following the instructions. We haven't seen a flood of, we have seen an uptick in users, but we haven't seen a flood of spam or anything like that. So cautious but positive.
Okay, thanks for the clarification, GJ. So onwards to peer review. So we're still doing the community re-review where users can get their dashboards reviewed a second time by their peers, and it's going well so far. We've also started sending public warnings to plagiarists. So I'm really happy about that. When we catch cheaters, we're giving them an official warning in Discord. You can see our stats of the week from the last 7 days in terms of number of submissions received and number of stellar submissions. So these are really good numbers. We're seeing an increase in submissions, which is great. Now, what's next? So we hope to achieve greater efficiencies with tiebreakers using a little bit of a buffer that we have in our funding. So as you have learned from previous weeks, one of our bottlenecks is handling ties and rankings when two submissions have the exact same score. Sometimes this complicates payments when we try and determine who is the first ranked submission. So we have a small buffer in our funding, about $100. That's kind of flexible, that we're going to use to instantly break some of the low value ties to alleviate some of the administrative burden caused by ties. And we're also thinking of using the quality of the tweet thread to settle ties in rank. So when analysts submit, they have to write a tweet thread along with their submission. And we would like to use that to settle some ties in ranking, to reward people for writing great Twitter threads. And we're also considering a better scoring system. So without major changes to the evaluation system, we could simply allow decimals in the score. So instead of scoring 10, someone could score 10.5, or maybe using 120 points instead of 12 points, same difference. And that might cause less ties and rankings. So as you see, we're spending a lot of energy trying to create a system that will make these ties, less of a burden on us. Finally, blockers. Any upgrades to our peer review system? Well, many upgrades to peer review require updates to our tech stack. And because we're launching the app soon, we don't want to spend a lot of time upgrading technology that will become irrelevant in the app world. So that's a little bit of a blocker. That's it for peer review. Feel free to comment or ask any questions.
Any comments or questions before we keep rolling? All right, thank you, Zook. Plenty to dig into there, but let's go all the way through, and we can always come back at the end. Bounty ops.
Yeah, so last week we launched 16 bounties and are coordinating those reviews. Just to give you guys a sense, the prior week I think we launched 8 or 9. So we're on the up and up, expecting to launch 17 this week, but I'm also seeing that we have some already coming in. So we'll definitely break 20 analytical challenges this week alone. Definitely have some more brainstormings on the calendar as well. Likely we'll probably get closer to 25 total challenges for the week. As you know, we brought on another member to the Bounty Ops team that helps us be supported through Season 3 and Season 4. AJ has kicked it off with us, got access to everything, and planning to have them launch their first challenge this week as well. So exciting things as we continue to scale and grow the number of challenges. We do have support to service that. And then, we're currently introducing some partial automations to the Bounty launch process to help us handle all the challenges that are coming up. Obviously, with some of the the movement and the scaling and the growth, we're just seeing some concerns or blockers. This is a small concern. Just the team wants to vocalize it that there is an increase in the challenges. It's not a current blocker, but we want to ensure we're delivering to our clients. So feedback from everyone as we see the results come in is going to be incredibly valuable for us. So please continue to provide that back to the Bounty Bunch so we can ensure not only are we delivering the outcomes to the clients, but the outcomes for the community as well. shipping some new challenge types, brainstorming, as well as GJ just mentioned, we did do some hunts. This is not a common thing, but we need to prepare for that if we're going to do them. There's some tech issues that we have on setting total limits and things like that we're going to look into. And then the last is obviously with the increase of challenges across both brainstorming and analytics, the Asana board has gotten a little messy. It can be hard to read at times. We're going to see if there's ways that we can tighten that up. Yeah, that's really all for bounty apps.
Awesome. And a huge shout out to the Bounty Bunch and supporting teams for being able to scale all of this. We're keeping up, which is really awesome. And many, many thanks for the extra hours grinding to make that happen. Protocol Dev.
Hey everyone. Fixing issues that are coming in through GitHub. Keep reporting them if you're in the current phase of the beta. End of last week, this week, and the beginning of next week, we have a bunch of staggered vacations. And so I think there's a couple of days in there where more than one person is off, but the team is taking a well-earned break. And yeah, pushing on the beta.
Team has absolutely earned that break. So hope people are having a really good time, whether it's beach or mountains. For me, it would be casino. Whatever it is folks are doing, very well earned.
Yes, Sebastian went to Carnival in Brazil. Or
That's the spirit. I love it.
What?
Oh, fantastic. Well, look forward to some pictures coming back from that.
We'll see.
Or some pictures, not all the pictures. BizDev.
Hey everyone, first off, want to shout out Aaron, Drake, GJ for helping pick up the BizDev Slack while I was out sick last week. Very much appreciated. Just to highlight accomplishments from last week, met with the Graph and met with Eco, and then began some conversations with some really cool, interesting projects, Ontology, Refinance, CF Foundation. This week, the big priority is finalize the proposal, send that off to the Graph. Super exciting to see that all coming to a head. Continue the opportunity with Eco. I have a few meetings booked this week, as well as putting together a list of blockchain data providers. And no concerns or blockers. Any questions? All right.
Awesome. Cool. Great. Yeah, great to see so many conversations going. Thank you, James. DAO-Ops.
Hey everyone. Nothing much interesting here. Last week was legal work. We started on MeTip 14, which is a legal thing. It got on the forum. This week we'll be doing more legal work and hopefully voting on MeTip 14. My big concern is that I need every governor to be voting on this one. So if you're here and have a governor badge, like please go to the forum. Forum and then snapshot. And there is a document that you have to read before you vote on this one. So don't just skip to the bottom and vote yes. But yeah, that's all I got.
Non, would I be able to prevail on you to drop a link to the forum in chat just so that everybody here has got it and can go read?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Many thanks. Curation.
Let's hit Treasury on the past one as well.
Sure. My mistake.
Yep. That's okay. Treasury always gets skipped in here.
Sorry, Bills. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Nothing new to the old Treasury team. What did we do? We received some payments from Flipside for February bounties, so we got some near into our safe, some more USDC. So we'll have some more bounties being uploaded for payment this week. We just caught up with a bunch of Xmetric payments, maybe like 10 or so, probably just went out the door. So I don't know. That was earlier this morning, so maybe there's more info to add to the Xmetric tabs that we're keeping track of. Let's see, so this week's priority is putting together an Axel bounty invoice. So Flipside will be sending us some Axel tokens for the bounties that we've launched recently. We'll do some testing on payout tools. There is an internal tool for Flipside that should help us handle these bulk payments. And then lastly, submitting Spec 2 for the Treasury dashboard bounty that's been on our plate for a while, but we're about ready to kick that over to analysts and see what they can cook up to get a more public view of our Treasury assets. And that's all.
Bills, just for my reference, who updates it's not the showcase page, but the payments page with Xmetric when that's been paid out?
Yep, so that'll be me and Jack Guy. So we're in the process of getting aligned there. I think moving forward will be mostly Jack Guy doing Xmetric, and then I'll be doing like USDC and other tokens like Near, Luna, that sort. So still a little
Fantastic.
catch up to do to get up to speed, but we're close.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that we sync up to let the community know, as we catch up on payments, it buys us some license to focus on some other things, decentralization, promoting the app or whatever. But when payment is always going to be top of the list for folks. So great work, Bills, and I'll thank Jack as well. And we'll get those updates there to let people know that we are closing the gap.
Yep, thanks.
Gratian.
We'll keep it short and sweet, as we are a little bit still on the back burner. Just moving some Terra bugs forward, assigned to some curators. I've had an increased amount of individuals reaching out, so I've gotten them set up with access to the channels and onboarding materials. And Lil Tim's has reached out to as an interested party, taking over some leadership responsibilities as we approach season 4 of MetricsDAO. For this week, I'm going to work on building out the project design for Squid router curation. If you're interested in that at all, definitely feel free to reach out. And then hopefully next week we'll be able to actually kick that off. And then some general concerns is that Synthetics seems to be pretty reluctant based on price tag for that actually moving forward. So that's a little disappointing.
Reluctant, or as in they said no, or they've said, hey, let's think about it, or they've ghosted us? What's the flavor?
Hey GJ, let me just jump in. I literally just got a message from them. They're gonna hold off. It's the pricing.
Got it.
Yeah.
So maybe a quick retro to do. I won't bog us down there, but we can do a little bit of look back and see if there's anything we change. If not, but thanks for the update there. Education.
Hey, hello. So last week we hosted Algorand and Cosmos webinars, as well as launched the Ethereum course onto our learning platform. We did as well start our first ever Web3 Analytics 201 cohort, which is really exciting, and also started preparing for the Graph course that is going to be launching in a few weeks' time. So this week we do have 2 webinars. We just hosted Near webinar and going to have Web Analytics 101 webinar later this week. Also, we do have the next Web3 Analytics 101 cohort launching soon. So we'll be this time putting the course onto Teachable and doing the drift campaign there. Also, we will focus on building the Near course, because that's going to be launching early next week, continuing with the Web3 Analytics 201 cohort, continue working on the Graph course, and as well as seeing how can we improve and further involve TAs. And the last thing, we're nominated for the Optimism Education Grant, so we'll as well ensure now to submit the application form, and hopefully, yeah, it's gonna go well.
Vida, the Optimism Profile is due tonight or tomorrow?
It's due
tomorrow.
It's due tomorrow, but I would like to submit it today.
Got it. What help do you need to get that over the finish line?
Yeah, so here I'm still missing a link to Jan-Feb numbers for the client revenue. So yes, that's online in the channel. So if someone could support in that, that would be that would be it.
Bills, I think probably this goes through you. Vida, can you remind us what channel so Bills can take a look at that?
Sure. So it's under team chat, and the channel is called Optimism Profile application.
Okay, thank you. I will follow up.
Awesome. And then, Vita, if there's anything else that we need there, let's be vocal. This is a great opportunity. So we will all support that. If there's anything you need, just shout out and we can all pay attention to that chat.
Sure.
And we'll keep on rolling. Marketing.
Yes. I'm not sure if these slides are updated, as in, they're not how I left them. But I'll read from my own notes in that case. So past week accomplishments, was promotion on the one-on-one webinar, specifically the one for Near and the one for Solana. We also spoke on the Flipside Twitter space, which is now basically a weekly thing and is going pretty well. So MetricsDAO is basically a co-host on that. So that's some good exposure every time. Then as far as blogs go, we put out 2 blogs. One on Behind the Charts with Kofi, written by Rob, which was really great, and then another great one by Rodden on growing decentralization in Cosmos. And we made some progress as far as podcasts go. So basically secured a new one to go on, which is called the Block Coffee, and finally making some headway with Crypto Sapiens as well, who kind of like sort of ghosted us, I guess, or they just weren't really well with managing their messages. But I'm talking with their host tomorrow. I got a call, so that's great. Then this week priorities will be again promotion of the one-on-one webinars, but in this case, Web3 analytics, Solana, and Optimism that are coming up. Another big one will be gauging our market effectiveness. So basically, UTM tag tracking, so we can see where our efforts are paying off and where they aren't. And we should also prepare for promoting the webinar for our partner, aka the one for the graph. So that's it from marketing updates.
Awesome. And I'll make sure to send these slides out on Friday. I think Patrick asked for that. So folks have enough time to update them for the following week.
Yeah, maybe I updated the wrong file or something. I don't know.
I will go last. One thing I didn't put on here, we had a nice uptick in community members. I'm still digging into why, but I suspect it was a couple high-profile folks tweeting about education courses. So a lot of love to the education pod for making that happen. A lot of quality of life improvements, some behind-the-scenes applications. Priorities for this week, documentation is going to be an ongoing push, just making stuff easier to find. We've got a lot of docs out there. They're not always easy to get to. And then continue to focus on the reviewer end of the process to improve analyst satisfaction, do some user personas work that will prepare us for the next big push of growth. My only question was, if we wanted to dispense X metric to a group of people who are going to go through, for example, an education course, is that something that we can do, or is that something that there's really no shortcut or no lever that we can pull or should pull?
I'd say that's something that we can do, GJ.
Okay, understood.
For the past few months, growth teams have mostly been like trying to increase X metric holdings, but I think that anyone should be able to do that. As far as like how that operationally looks, like if you submit a CSV, then the X metric multisig could disperse it.
Excellent, very helpful. We're thinking about a training course on review and how to review effectively, and also pairing that to, as we talk about using social metrics for tiebreakers, teaching people to write engaging threads and to market themselves well. So Xmetric might be a valuable incentive for some of that. All that is still in the works.
Love it. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement in the Bounty Ops pod about using, external value measures like impressions, engagement, tweets, quality of threads, to incentivize and also just to break ties. And as we teach people to do that, that's good for their profile. It's also good for us. So lots of exciting work on that end. That's all the scheduled material. Does anybody have stuff that they want to circle back on, or questions, things you want to ask for help on? Anything for the group? Okay, then. Thank you, everybody, for all the work that you do. And we will see you all a week from now for the next exciting iteration of team internal Monday evening calls.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, team.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye. Take care.